As international student, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered here today on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. This land is part of the Saskatchewan River Basin, which also includes my research area, the Saskatchewan River Delta. The Saskatchewan River Delta is the traditional territory of the Cree people. Today, it is home to the Cumberland House Cree Nation, Red Earth Cree Nation, and the Shoal Lake Cree Nation. The Saskatchewan River Delta is an area where the treaties 4, 5, 6, and 10 overlap, and it is also home to Métis Local 42. It is an honor to engage in this presentation and talk about the magnificent Saskatchewan River Delta, a region of vast biodiversity that annually attracts life, culture, language, and knowledge. This is a story of a sphere that encompasses everything we know about water systems. Inside of this sphere are all the theories of the hydrological cycle, all our models of water systems, and everything we understand about their interactions with living beings. This sphere is kept alive by you, by me, and by everyone who researches water systems. We nourish it with every new paper, every piece of observed data, every laboratory experiment, and every hydrological model we develop. Our values, methods, and approaches to studying water systems support this sphere. Our priorities address the direction of this sphere. We also use this sphere to make informed decisions. Yet, this is just one sphere among many. As our sphere, each sphere represents a unique perspective on water systems. So, what distinguishes one sphere from another? Their limits, their boundaries, but also what sustains them. The values, the methods, and the way we learn about water systems. How do these spheres communicate? Communication occurs when information from one sphere crosses the boundaries that separate them. However, this transmission of information is not instantaneous. Limitations in language make translation difficult. Moreover, spheres usually don't share the same values or methods. However, when there is a need for collaboration or in response to external demands, both spheres are pushed to negotiate mechanisms for communication. This process often leads to the creation of boundary objects. What are boundary objects? Boundary objects are artifacts that help translate information from one sphere to another. Are they translator devices? They are not just translators. They are communication bridges. Boundary objects mediate between different ways of understanding water systems. They don't provide a joint understanding or consensus. Instead, they help us to understand the differences between ways of knowing that serve as a reference points. By using boundary objects, we can make decisions about water resources that incorporate the other spheres, while respecting differences and promoting the growth of both knowledge systems. That is essential to collaboration. Boundary objects can mean different things to different people, but they have a common structure that helps to translate ideas. For example, this model shows how a dam transports and captures water sediment. They can also be more abstract objects that convey deep messages. For example, in the River Heartbeat project, water flow data from measuring stations was turned into an audio file. The recordings reveal clear differences in the river's heartbeat before and after dams were built upstream in the 60s. Before the dams, the heartbeat was strong and regular, but after the dams, it became weak and erratic. Boundary objects can be flexible enough to adapt to the local needs and constraints of different groups while still maintaining a common identity across different sites. Art has been successful in gathering, analyzing, and disseminating data. For example, forum theater was used to highlight the differences in water security perspectives and the constraints of decision-making. We are currently working on creating a boundary object that uses sound to understand the impact of restoration in the delta. Let's listen.